Welcome all of you. So today we will be solving some problems on centrifugal pumps in continuation of this chapter. So a centrifugal pump has its diameter, that is the impeller diameter, 30 centimeter and a constant area of flow 210 centimeter square or square centimeters. Full stop. The pump runs at 1440 rpm and delivers 90 liters per second against a total head of 25 meter. If there is no well velocity at the entry, compute the rise in pressure head across the impeller and hydraulic efficiency of the pump. The vanes at the exit are bent back at 22 degree with respect to the tangential speed. So let us write what is given here. So this problem is definitely on a centrifugal pump wherein we are given the diameter first, right? The impeller diameter is how much? 30 centimeter, so that is 0.3 meter directly writing in. Then we are given with flow area which is constant, right? So F1 is equal to F2 is equal to AF, which is 210 centimeter square, 210 into 10 raised to 6 meter square, that is 0.021 meter square, right, in SI units. The pump is working against a head of 25 meter, that is manometric head, that is the total head against which the pump is working, right? The speed is given as 1440 rpm. Then he says it delivers 90 liter per second, that is its discharge. Q is given, so it is in liter per second, so we have to convert that into meter cube per second, right? So divided by 1000, okay, so it becomes 0.09 meter cube per second. So he says if there is no whirl velocity at the entry, that means whirl velocity at the entry is VU1, VU1 is 0, it is given. Compute the rise in pressure head across the impeller, that is, he is asking us to find the rise in pressure head, that is P2 minus P1 divided by rho g according to the Bernoulli's theorem. He is asking us to find this, and also the hydraulic efficiency of the pump. Hydraulic efficiency of the pump or the manometric efficiency. We know both are same, isn't it? As per our previous discussion, these two are the same factors. Now he also gives us, he says that the vanes are bent back at 20 at the exit, that is the exit blade angle is 22 degree, and he also says they are bent back, that means these are the bent back wheels. Okay, now let us see what is to be calculated, right? So let us start. What we know? We know that manometric efficiency or the hydraulic efficiency is equal to the manometric head to the Euler's head. This is what we know, right? So in this problem, manometric head is already given as 25 meter. So what we need to find out? We need to find out the Euler's head, right? So we know Euler's head is equal to U2 VU2 divided by G, right? Let this be equation number 2. So what do we know? Do we know U2? We do not know it. VU2 also we do not know. So let us find out U2 and VU2. So how do you find U2? For that we are given with diameter and the speed. So therefore we know that U2 is equal to pi into D2 into N divided by 60. So pi into diameter at the exit is given, it is 0.3 meter into speed is given 1440 rpm divided by 60. So this is 24 into 0.3, 7.2 pi, which is 22.62 meter per second, right? So this is the U2 value. So now let us find out VU2. To find VU2, we have to take the help of the triangles. So let us plot the triangles here. So as he says, the whirl velocity is 0 at the inlet, that is VU1 becomes 0. So at the inlet it becomes, I told you this is radially outward machine always. So this is V1 is equal to Vf1 and this is U1, right? So there is no velocity at the inlet. V1 is 0. Let this be beta 1. Let this be VR1. This is the inlet triangle that we know. And then coming to the outlet triangle, this is VF2. Then we have VR2 at an angle beta 2. Also we have V2 at an angle alpha 2 with the tangential velocity, right? So let this be VU2 and let this be U2. So this is the outlet velocity triangle. So now what we need to find out? We need to find out VU2 value, right? So this just like in the derivation. So what is VU2 here? VU2 is U2 minus X, right? So this X is VF cot beta 2. So let me write directly. We know that from outlet velocity triangle, so let me say VU2 is U2 minus X. Okay, let me call this X. Okay, U2 minus this X is VF cot beta 2. That is VF cot beta 2, right? So beta 2 is given here. So what we need to find out? All we need to find out is VF. So to find VF, we have to use the discharge that is given. So let us find out discharge here. So we know Q is equal to A into V. So VF is equal to Q by AF. That is Q is given as 0.09 meter cube per second divided by AF is given as 0.021 meter square. So that is why the velocity becomes 4.29 meter per second, right? Which is also equal to V1 according to this. So therefore U2 is calculated just now 22.62 minus 4.29 into cot beta 2. Beta 2 is given as 22 degree. So let me write. So VU2 is, when we calculate this, we will get 12 meter per second. So now we have calculated both U2 and VU2. So let me go back to formula 2. So substituting in formula 2, substituting in equation 2. So equation 2 becomes Euler's head is equal to U2 is 22.62 into VU2 is 12 divided by G 9.81, and therefore so this value will be 27.7 meter. This is the Euler's head, right? So now we know Euler's head also. So that is why equation 1 becomes so this is the vast parameter hydraulic efficiency, which is also equal to manometric efficiency, is equal to manometric head, which is given as 25 divided by Euler's head, which is calculated to be 27.7. So this will be 90.3%. What is the hydraulic efficiency of this centrifugal pump? It is found to be 90.3%, right? So now let us go to the second parameter, which is the pressure rise across the impeller, that is from inlet to outlet. So considering so this is our first answer. Considering inlet as 1 and outlet as 2 and applying Bernoulli's theorem as we are all familiar with this already. So now I shall write. So I am applying the Bernoulli's theorem here for the centrifugal pump across the rotor. P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus work done across the rotor should be equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g, right? So isn't it? So let this be equation number 3. So now what do we want? We want P2 minus P1 by rho g. So let me do the modifications here. Therefore I can write P2 minus P1 by rho g should be equal to work done across the impeller minus V2 square minus V1 square divided by 2g. Okay. So after the modification it becomes minus V2 square, thus that I have taken outside, right? Now coming to this work done across the impeller, that can be written as U2 VU2 divided by G, okay, minus V2 square minus V1 square divided by 2G. Now what are the unknowns here? Do we know all the values? U2 VU2 by G we have just calculated, but do we know VU2 and V1? Let me check. So now we know that V1 is equal to Vf1, isn't it? So its value will be 4.2 meter per second, but we do not know what is V2. So let us calculate the value of V2. In the outlet velocity triangle, right? In the triangle, let me say ABCD. In the triangle ABC, so if at all I can apply the Pythagoras theorem, V2 square should be equal to VU2 square plus Vf square, isn't it? So let me apply that. Therefore V2 square is equal to, from outlet velocity triangle, V2 square is equal to VU2 square plus Vf square, or in other words V2 is equal to square root of VU2. What is the VU2 value? VU2 value will be 12 square plus Vf value will be 4.29 square. So therefore V2 we will get as 12.74 meter per second. Hope you are clear. So now we know all the values in this equation. So let me say, let this equation be equation number 4. So now equation 4 becomes, which is the equation for the pressure change across the impeller, P2 minus P1 by rho g, that is the pressure head, right? This is in head form. So U2 VU2 divided by G, which is Euler's head, which we have already calculated, isn't it? So let me substitute, which is 27.7 meter minus whole 12.74 square minus V1 is Vf 4.29 square whole divided by 2 into 9.81. Right? So upon the calculation, this value, the pressure head across the rotor, becomes 20.4 meter of water. So now this is in the meter of water unit, right? So let us calculate that into this. Let us take this into this side. So therefore this is the pressure head. So P2 minus P1, or delta P, becomes 20.4 into the density is 1000 for water and G is 9.81, so it becomes 2 bar. This is the pressure change across the rotor in this given centrifugal pump. Now moving on to the next one, which second one is a proof kind of problem, right? But this is related to the previous problem, right? In this problem also we need to find out or prove that there is pressure difference, or the pressure head across the rotor is equal to so and so equation. So let us start this. Let us consider a centrifugal pump. Let us consider a centrifugal pump with velocity triangles as follows. Right? Let us consider the general velocity triangles for centrifugal pump. Right? So we know that there will not be any entry variable velocity, that is V1 will be equal to Vf1, and this will be u1 and vu1 will be 0 as I told. Then let this be Vr1 at an angle beta 1, right? So this must be the common inlet velocity triangle. Coming to the outlet velocity triangle, this is Vf2, this is Vr2 at an angle beta 2, then let this be V2 at an angle alpha 2 with the tangent, wheel tangent. So let this be Vu2 and let this be U2, right? So this is the general triangles for centrifugal pump. Now again let us apply Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's theorem across the centrifugal pump impeller. As 1 and 2. If I consider inlet N1 and outlet S2, let me write. So again this becomes P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus work done across the rotor should be equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g. Again I will directly manipulate it because we need P2 minus P1 by rho g. So let me manipulate directly just like we did in the previous problem. So we already know the work done across the rotor is U2 Vu2 divided by g minus V2 square minus V1 square whole divided by 2g. Right? So let this be equation number 1. So now let us see what he is asking us to prove. Now let us make these two equations ready. So from velocity triangles we have certain observations like V1 is equal to Vf1 and also Vu2 is U2 minus Vf2 cot beta 2, right? And also from outlet velocity triangle V2 square is equal to Vf2 square plus Vu2 square, right? But what is Vu2 square? It is U2 minus Vf cot beta 2. So therefore V2 square is equal to Vf2 square plus Vu2 is U2 minus Vf2 cot beta 2 whole square. Isn't it? So let us expand that. It becomes Vf2 square plus U2 square plus Vf2 square cot square beta 2 minus 2U2 Vf2 cot beta 2. Isn't it? So that is what is V2 square. Now let us get V2 square minus V1 square, which is there in that equation 1, right? V2 square minus V1 square becomes Vf2 square plus U2 square plus Vf2 square cot square beta 2 minus 2U2 Vf2 cot beta 2 whole minus V1 is equal to Vf1, so V1 square is Vf1 square. So let us get into the modification part. I shall write U2 square minus Vf1 square plus Vf2 square plus Vf2 square cot square beta 2, right? I am just rearranging the same terms, minus 2U2 Vf2 cot beta 2. And now let us get Vf2 square common out of this. So let me write U2 square minus Vf1 square plus Vf2 square common, and it becomes 1 plus cot square beta 2 whole minus 2U2 Vf2 cot beta 2. Isn't it? Now From trigonometry we know that 1 plus cot square beta 2 is cosecant square, so it becomes u2 square minus vf1 square plus vf2 square cosecant square beta 2 minus 2u2 vf2 cot beta 2. Clear? Therefore, let this be equation number 2. Now, similarly, let us get an equation for u2 u2. Similarly, u2 vu2 is equal to u2 into, what is vu2? It is u2 minus vf2 cot beta 2. So, modifying that, it becomes u2 square minus u2 vf2 cot beta 2. Isn't it? So, let this be equation number 3. Now, our equation 2 and 3 are ready. So, let us go back to equation number 1. That is, what is our equation number 1? It is P2 minus P1 by rho g should be equal to, so let me take 1 by 2g as common. So, what remains here is 2 into u2 u2, okay, divided by, not divided by, g is taken outside, minus v2 square minus v1 square. So now let us substitute these two terms, okay. So let this be equation number 4. Substituting equation 2 and 3 in equation 4, we will get P2 minus P1 by rho g should be equal to 1 by 2g into 2 into u2 v2 is u2 square minus 2 multiplied u2 vf2 cot beta 2, right, minus, what is this, v2 square minus v1 square? It is u2 plus vf1 square minus, I have multiplied minus, so this has become plus and minus changed, cosecant square beta 2 plus 2 u2 vf2 cot beta 2, right. So now let us see what gets cancelled. So this is u2 square, so 2 u2 square minus u2 square becomes u2 square, so this becomes 1 by 2g, and then vf2 square cosecant square beta 2 and 2 vf2 cot beta 2 gets cancelled on plus and minus, this becomes vf1 square, right, minus, sorry, plus, this becomes plus u2 square minus vf2 square cosecant square beta 2, right. So this is the proof. So the pressure head across the rotor can be proven like this. This is the asked proof.